Welcome to my channel, I'm Charmaine and I enjoy travelling mainly to seek outdoor adventures and gain new experiences. In this video, I'll take you along with me on the solo 6 days road trip across New Zealand South Island from end Feb to early March. Starting in Christchurch, I travelled through Lake Tekapo, Mount Cook and Lake Wanaka before returning to Queenstown to wrap up the journey. So without further ado, let's dive into the adventure! The day I landed in Christchurch, I met up with my friends for dinner and visited their beautiful home with 2 lovely cats. After renting my car from Avis in Christchurch, I started my journey to Lake Tekapo and visited the Church of Good Shepherd. This is one of the iconic locations to capture the Milky Way during the winter months where the skies are the clearest and darkest. Later in the night, I participated in a tour by Dark Sky Project. Lake Tekapo is within the Dark Sky Reserve, which refers to an area recognized for its exceptionally clear dark skies, where light pollution is strictly controlled to preserve natural night conditions. Astronomers at Dark Sky Project engage in activities like studying star formations, conduct research on cosmic phenomena, and providing stargazing tour. We took a 10-minute bus up to peak of Mount John, which has exclusive access only for tours and researchers. They gathered us at a spot and showed us constellations which you only get to see from the southern hemisphere. There were several telescopes for us to observe different celestial objects. If you would like to do stargazing, it would be recommended to plan your visit on a new moon to get the best visibility of the stars. This morning looks a bit overcast. Nonetheless, I'm enjoying my breakfast I've prepared, which includes a bun, some lettuce, tom yum tuna and a cup of Milo. I'm fueling for my 90 minutes drive all the way up to Mount Cook, where I'll be staying in a hostel surrounded by Southern Alps. But along the way, I'll be visiting a popular store which sells fresh salmon. This is the Alpine salmon shop and it's facing Lake Pukaki. It is a small shop with generous car park lots and benches for you to enjoy your midday snack. So I've purchased my sashimi. It's $22 for a pack and they're all the same size. So they've already cut it nicely for you and it has to be consumed within 3 days. So they also provided soya sauce and wasabi. This was an amazing spot to soak in the view of Lake Pukaki, alongside with enjoying the thick and fresh salmon. The Hooker Valley trek is approximately 10 kilometers round trip and I took about 3 hours at a leisure pace. The paths were well marked with many signboards. There was minimal elevation and to me, it's a pretty easy hike. The trek starts at a car park of White Horse Hill Campground and is open 24 hours. If you stay in the Mount Cook village where most accommodations are, it takes about 40 minutes to walk to the starting point or a 5 minutes drive. I started my trek at about 8 AM and the car park was about 70% full. I'm glad that I started my trek in the morning when the weather was cool and comfortable with lesser crowds. At the end of the trek, you'll reach the Hooker Lake. It is a glacier lake. To be honest, I was a bit disappointed at the colour of the lake, probably because of the season that I visited. Perhaps in winter the lake is more blue and pretty, but nonetheless, it was my first time seeing icebergs. I continued my drive from Mount Cook to Lake Wanaka, which was about 2.5 hours away. I stayed in Wanaka for 3 nights because there were so many things to do. The first thing that I did was to visit Crossfire. I discovered this place on Google and it has so many good reviews. After visiting, I realized they deserve the 5 stars. They have so many activities here including claybird, rifle range, archery, golf driving range and mini put. For starters, I did the rifle range. The owner was so patient and kind enough to guide me as it was my first time using a rifle. They provided safety eyewear and ear masks for protection. This cost 35 New Zealand dollars for 25 bullets. Because the rifle range was so fun, I decided to level up and try claybird shooting. This was 65 New Zealand dollars for 20 bullets. This is me trying to track the claybird's trajectory. The rifle was super heavy for me and I had to take multiple rests between each shot. Also, the recoil was pretty strong as well. But in all, I totally enjoyed myself. The second thing I did in Wanaka was to hike Roy's Peak. It is known for its breathtaking views of the Wanaka region. I started my hike at about 6:30 AM and the sun was slowly rising. This trek was challenging for me, perhaps because my stamina isn't that fantastic. I recalled having to motivate myself all the way up. And finally I reached the top, and here's a little dance of me to congratulate myself for all the hard work. I have a separate video on Roy's Peak on my page, do check it out if you're keen. The last activity in Wanaka was pack rafting. This was one of the best memories for me. The guides prepared the gears while we enjoyed breakfast that they provided. We got into our wetsuits, wet shoes and carried our rafts into the waters. We floated along the Matukituki River in Mount Aspiring National Park. Most of the river was generally flat with slow-moving water. Some sections had rapids which were very mild with gentle bounce. There were only one or two sections which had faster water speed with a slight drop. There was a spot which they let us float in the glacial lake, and this almost felt like a dream to me of being in a turquoise blue waters surrounded by majestic mountain ranges. This activity got me interested in pack rafting and I'm looking for more thrilling ones. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any recommendations. My last stop in New Zealand was Queenstown. I still felt the adrenaline in me and I decided to sign up for the Shotover Jet ride. Wow, it was thrilling as we zoomed past narrow canyons. This jet boat is able to move with just 15 cm of water. I was totally enjoying the ride and was so fascinated by the stunning canyons. This sums up my trip in South Island. I enjoyed it so much and perhaps next time I would like to try freedom camping instead. Please like and subscribe if you are into adventure or outdoor travels.